Based on Galileo's ideas, Newton formulated three laws of motion, and the first law of motion states that every object continues in its state of rest or state of uniform motion along a straight line unless an unbalanced external force acts on it. This is Newton's first law of motion. So, Newton's first law of motion states that every object continues in its state of rest or state of uniform motion along a straight line unless an unbalanced external force acts on it. This is Newton's first law of motion. See, here is a ball and which is in the state of rest. If an unbalanced external force is applied on this ball, it will start to move. If there is no unbalanced force acts on it, then the ball will continue in the state of rest itself. And here you can see a ball is in the state of motion, and if an unbalanced external force is applied in the opposite direction, the ball may stop. And if there is no forces acts on it, then the ball will continue in the state of motion itself. So this is Newton's first law of motion. Every object continues in the state of rest or state of uniform motion along a straight line unless an unbalanced external force acts on it. So if we apply an unbalanced external force on an object which is at rest, then it will change its state. That means it will continue to move. And if we apply an unbalanced external force on a moving object, what will happen? It will stop. So that is, every object continues in the state of rest or state of uniform motion along a straight line unless an unbalanced external force acts on it. Now let us see certain experiences that we come across in our daily life based on Newton's first law of motion. Do you have the experience like this? People tending to fall back when a bus at rest is moved forward suddenly. So why we fall backwards when the bus suddenly moves? So what is the reason? Yes, it is because before the bus starts moving, the bus and the passengers were in the state of rest. When the bus starts to move suddenly, our upper body continues in the state of rest while our feet since our feet is in contact with the bus, hence it moves. So our upper body tends to continue in the state of rest while our lower body moves along with the bus. So that is why we fall backwards. So people tending to fall back when a bus at rest is moved forward suddenly. So initially our body was in the state of rest. Hence our body shows a tendency to remain in the state of rest itself, and this property of an object is called inertia. So this property of an object is called inertia, and here the tendency of the body is to continue in the state of rest itself. That is why this inertia is known as inertia of rest. So what is inertia of rest? Inertia of rest is the tendency of a body to continue in the state of rest. So what is inertia of rest? Inertia of rest is the tendency of a body to continue in the state of rest. Now let us see some examples for inertia of rest. We can strike off the lowest coin from a pile of carom coins without disturbing other coins. So when this coin strikes the lowest coin, it moves. This coin will move, while the other coins remain in the state of rest itself. So here you can see the tendency of these pile of coins to remain in the state of rest, because before striking this coin, these carom coins were in the state of rest. So after striking this, only this coin moves, but the other coins remain in the state of rest itself. So this shows inertia of rest. When a card is flicked with the finger, the coin placed over it falls in the tumbler. So while a card is flicked, what happens? The card moves while the coin falls in the tumbler. So here you can see the inertia of rest. This coin shows the inertia of rest. So while flicking the card moves while the coin tries to maintain its state of rest. Hence it falls in the tumbler. So here the coin shows a tendency to remain in the state of rest itself. That is why this is an example for inertia of rest. Another example, here a water bottle is kept on a thick rough paper. So water bottle is kept on a thick rough paper, and while pulling this paper suddenly to one side, you can see the bottle falls to backwards. So what is the reason behind this? Before pulling, the bottle was in the state of rest. While pulling the paper, the bottom of this bottle gains motion because it is in contact with this paper. That is why this bottle moves along with the paper, while the upper part of this bottle shows a tendency to remain in the state. That is why this, on pulling, this bottle falls backwards. So this is also an example for inertia of rest. So here bottle shows the tendency to remain in the state of rest. So these are some of the examples for inertia of rest. Now let us see what is inertia of motion. So inertia of motion is the tendency of a moving body to continue in the state of motion. Now let us see some examples for inertia of motion. While moving, see, when a moving bus is suddenly stopped, the standing passengers tend to fall forward. So when a moving bus is suddenly stopped, what happens? The standing passengers tend to fall forward. So what is the reason? Because while moving, our body is also in the state of motion. On applying the brake, the bus slows down and bus stops, but our body continues in the state of motion. So here you can see our body shows a tendency to continue in the state of motion. So this property of a body to continue in the state of motion is called inertia of motion. So that is why it is safe to wear seat belts during driving. Then what is inertia of motion? It is the tendency of a body to continue in the state of motion. So while the bus is moving, our body is also in the state of motion. When the bus suddenly stops, our body still continues in the state of motion. That is why we fall forward. Another example, a running athlete cannot stop himself at the finishing line in a race. So what is the reason? A running athlete A running athlete cannot stop himself at the finishing line in a race. The reason is while running, his body is in the state of motion. So when he suddenly stops, the body will not stop. Body will continue in the state of motion. That is why if he suddenly stops, he may fall forward. That is why the athlete should run a small distance after completing the completing the final point. So a running athlete cannot stop himself at the finishing line in a race. A fan continues to rotate for some time even after it is switched off. So what is the reason? Here also we can see the fan shows a tendency to continue in the state of motion. So here you can see this is an example for inertia of motion. So fan can't change its state of motion suddenly. That is why even after we switch off, the fan will continue to rotate. A person stepping out of a moving bus has to run forward a few steps. Why? So here the reason is it is because of inertia of motion. Even after stepping out from a bus, his body continues in the state of motion, and that is why he has to run few steps while jumping from this bus, otherwise he may fall. So these are some of the examples for inertia of motion. So what is inertia of motion? It is a tendency of a body to continue in the state of motion. So inertia of rest and inertia of motion are together named as inertia. So inertia is the tendency of a body to continue in its state of rest or a state of motion. So inertia of rest and inertia of motion are together named as inertia, and this inertia means it is the tendency of a body to continue in the state of rest or state of uniform motion along a straight line. Now let us see how this inertia and mass are related. We learned what is inertia. So what is inertia? Inertia is a tendency of a body to continue in the state of rest or state of uniform motion along a straight line. See, it is easier to move, or it is easier to push an empty box than a box with full of books. What is the reason? Yes. Similarly, if we kick a football, it flies away, but if we kick a stone of the same size with equal force, it will not move. In fact, we may get injury to our foot. So what is the reason here? Why it is possible to kick a box or a football easy, while it is not possible to push or kick a ball which is made up of stone and a box with full of books? What is the reason? One more example. It is possible for a rabbit to change its direction of motion in a zigzag way, while it is not possible for an elephant to move in a zigzag way. What is the reason? Yes, in all these cases we can see the heavier object or the massive objects have larger inertia. Hence, they show lesser tendency to change their state of rest or state of motion. So, inertia of an object is measured by its mass. See, compared to this box has more inertia, hence it shows lesser tendency to change its state. And here, compared to this football, this ball which is made up of a stone has more mass, hence it has more inertia, hence it shows less tendency to change its state of rest. And here, compared to rabbit, elephant has more inertia, hence it has less tendency to change its state. Then one more example. Here you can see two buckets, and this bucket is filled with sand, and it is easy to move this bucket, but it is difficult to move this bucket which is full of sand. What is the reason? Because this bucket has more inertia and this bucket has less inertia. So when the inertia is high, it shows less tendency to change its state. That is why it will continue in the state of rest, while this will on kicking this bucket it will move. Then it is difficult for a loaded vehicles to take turn. What is the reason? Because this loaded vehicles has more mass, hence it has more inertia, hence it will show a less tendency to change their direction. So that is why it is difficult for a loaded vehicle to take turn. Which would require more force to move or slow down? Here you can see two balls. One is a bowling ball and another one is a plastic ball. So we require more force to move this ball than this ball, because this ball has more mass, hence it has more inertia, and this ball has lesser mass, hence it has less inertia. So we can move this ball easily, while for moving this ball we have to apply more force. The bowling ball requires more force because it has more mass, therefore it has more inertia. So we can conclude from this, when mass increases, inertia also increases. So open your textbook, page number 46. So we studied today the observations made by Galileo, and here experiment and pictures are given. So you have to read this. Two smooth surfaces are arranged with the same slopes as shown in the figure. A ball is allowed to roll down from a definite height along the surface A. The ball is seen to attain a definite speed when it reaches the bottom. What happens to its speed when it rolls upwards along the surface B? So we already seen, while the ball rolling down, its velocity or speed increases, while the ball rolls up, its velocity or speed decreases. So write here decreases. What do you observe when the slope of this surface is reduced? So while decreasing the slope, what we observed? The ball reaches the same height every time the slope is reduced. This means that the ball will have to travel longer distance as the slope is reduced. So this is the answer for this question. So underline this. Okay. Doesn't the ball have to move infinitely when the surface is made horizontal? In that case, wouldn't the motion of the ball continue indefinitely? So while the slope is made 0, what happens? The ball will continue along the straight path. So which is the force responsible for this? So after moving some distance, the ball comes to the state of rest. It is because of unbalanced external force acted on the ball. So which is that force? Frictional force. So what is the conclusion or inference from this experiment? A body in motion does not need an external unbalanced force for it to continue in its state of rectilinear uniform motion. Rectilinear uniform motion means motion along a straight line. So this was the observation of Galileo. Newton formulated his laws of motion as the continuation of Galileo's observation. So here you can see Newton's First law of motion. Every object continues in its state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line unless an unbalanced external force acts on it, and this is Newton's first law of motion. And here the two experiments are given. In the next page also you can see one activity. So you have to read this, okay? Place a bottle filled with water on a thick rough paper as shown in the figure. Pull the paper suddenly to one side. What do you observe? So on pulling this paper, this bottle falls backwards. Wasn't the bottle at rest before the paper was pulled out? Yes. When you pull the paper, doesn't the top of the bottle show the tendency to remain at rest? Yes. So from this what we can conclude, bottom of the bottle gaining motion because of the friction between the paper and bottle. If we replace this rough thick paper with the smooth paper, it will seem that the bottle continues to remain in the state of rest itself. Then this tendency is known as inertia of rest. Then inertia of rest is given in this box. Place a bottle used in the above experiment on a thick paper with a rough surface. Bring the bottle into motion by pulling the paper slowly. Gradually increase the speed of pulling. Stop pulling when the bottle gains certain speed. What do you observe? So here you can see the bottle is in the state of motion before you stopped pulling the paper. So before pulling, the bottle was in the state of motion. Didn't the top of the bottle show a tendency to continue in its motion when you stopped pulling the paper? So while stopping this paper, pulling this paper, the upper part of the bottle shows a tendency to continue in the state of motion, while the bottom of the bottle comes to the rest because of friction. The bottle would continue in its state of motion if the experiment is repeated with the paper having smooth surface. So read both activities, okay? This activity is related with inertia of rest, while this activity is related with inertia of motion. See here some questions are given. You have to write the answers to these questions. So before that, one more question is given. Try to define the inertia of motion. So what is inertia of motion? It is the tendency of a moving body to continue in its state of motion or its inability to change its state of motion by itself. So write here, okay? Then arrange some carom coins one on top of the other. Strike the bottom coin forcefully with the striker. What do you observe? Explain on the basis of inertia. So what is the answer? You have to write the answers in notebook, okay? Only the coin at the bottom is thrown away. Others will remain in the previous stage. So here you can see the inertia of rest. When a moving bus is suddenly stopped, the standing passengers tend to fall forward. What is the reason? The passengers start to move forward due to the tendency to continue in its state of motion. When a bus moves forward suddenly from rest, the standing passengers tend to fall backward. So the reason is it is due to the tendency to continue in the state of rest. See, the answer for this question is when a bus moves forward suddenly from rest, the standing passengers tend to fall backward. The answer is the passengers tend to fall backwards due to the tendency to continue in their state of rest. So strike this, okay? Don't write this. The answer for the third question is this one. Accidents that happen to passengers who do not wear seat belts are more fatal. The passengers inside the vehicle have the tendency to move forward due to inertia of motion. In the next page, you can see inertia of rest and inertia of motion are generally named as inertia, and inertia is the inability of a body to change its state of rest or state of uniform motion along a straight line by itself. find out more examples for inertia and complete the table. So while watching this video, you will get more examples and write the examples here in your notebook. Okay, then mass and inertia. It is dangerous for loaded vehicles to negotiate curves in the road without reducing the speed. What may be the reason? As mass increases, inertia also increases, hence it is difficult to take curves quickly. So using pencil, write the answer here. It is more difficult to roll a filled drum of tar than an empty one, isn't it? Which of the two has a greater mass? So greater mass we can see in the case of filled drum of tar. Which has greater inertia? Filled drum of tar has greater inertia. So what we can understand from this? Inertia of an object depends upon its mass. When the mass increases, inertia also increases. So this is important, okay? If a tennis ball and cricket ball are to reach the same distance when hit with a cricket bat, which is to be hit with greater force? What is the answer? Cricket ball. Will the change of velocity be same in both the cases? Velocities are different in both the cases due to different in masses. So we learn today observations of Galileo and Newton's first law of motion. So in Newton's first law of motion, we learned inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Hence this Newton's first law of motion is also known as law of inertia. Okay.